roll up, ladies and gentlemen, to the greatest podcast on earth. Step right up and experience the magnificence that is the Two Ring Circus podcast. You'll gasp, you'll laugh, and you'll be amazed at what comes next.
Amazing.
Don't worry about the smell. It's just the stars of our show, Tom Italiano
Hello.
and Matt Bradshaw.
What?
Welcome!
Welcome. I like it. I like how you've done the
What?
circus Count Dracula in there.
That's not me.
No, I mean employed someone to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, employed
Weirdo.
that person.
I'm weirdo.
Thanks.
Wait, let me just set this to never turn off.
Never turn off. How are you?
On balance, I am well. I just had a week in Western Australia with my parents,
Nice.
which was fun.
Good.
If you're thinking of going to Albany,
Go to Albany instead?
no.
Can't say Albany there. They'll hate it.
No, Albany's how it's pronounced.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Don't say Albany.
Right.
They'll run you out of town on a rail.
Yeah, that's what happened when we went there. Of course, I went there with my ex-girlfriend who is as English as they come in the sense of, she speaks
Oh, right.
quite well.
Okay, the way she speaks.
Yeah, she speaks very well.
I
She's
had no idea what
she's
you
from
meant.
Surrey Hills, so she's very well spoken, and she was reprimanded fiercely a number of times when
For
we
saying Albany.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was
interesting.
confused. I couldn't remember which one was the.
It's hard because you get used to saying Albury.
Yeah. It's
If you
weird.
ever say it.
Yeah. Pronunciation's weird.
I didn't know you'd been there. Did I know you'd been there? Did we have that conversation?
I don't know. I've been there.
Oh,
Yeah.
How long were you there?
Oh, I think it was only there for a day. We
That's enough. I don't mean of your conversation.
We flew into Perth on an aeroplane and picked up a camper van and then drove the camper van to Esperance and then took the coast all the way around and then...
That's a decent drive.
Yeah, it was we were in the car for a week.
Oof.
It was great though. Nice.
Okay. Yeah, it's
Occasionally we stopped
straight through to
and
Albany.
showered.
Sorry?
Occasionally we stopped and showered.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not a week on the run. Yeah, it's 4.5, 5 hour drive. Direct. Good roads in Perth. Like really super good roads.
Yeah, they use that mining money well.
But terrible drivers. I'm convinced that the drivers in Albany might be the worst I've ever encountered in Australia.
Really? Worse than
Dude.
Melbourne?
Oh man, so much worse than Melbourne.
Yeah, okay. Have you been a cyclist in Melbourne?
I've been a motorcyclist in Melbourne,
Oh, right. Yeah.
but it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would...
Before I got my bike license, so it's been 3 years. Prior to that, and having ridden in Asian countries, I had said I feel safer riding here than I reckon I would in Australia, so I'm probably never going to get my license in Australia. And then I just took my life in my hands and decided I would. So I've only had a couple of, not even close calls, but like really aware. So I was going to ride here today, but I had other stuff to do, phone calls and stuff on the way. It's a hard ride down here, like 120 k's or whatever it is.
Yeah. And freeway all the way, so it's...
And super sports bike.
Yeah.
It's not a relaxing ride, and you're kind of on high alert. So it can get quite tiring to do a long ride, because people do dumb things, and they just don't see you because you're quite small.
You did say do. I just
Sorry.
put that out.
Yeah, people do
Yeah.
dumb things.
Yeah.
So Albany is pretty boring.
Yeah. As in
this
is
fuck all to
it
do?
nice and relaxing? Is it like one of the, is it the kind of place you go is like, well, it's a nice place to shut down, or is it like it's actually not even a nice place to shut down?
Oh no, it is. It's
Great.
but different because I was with my parents. So I was with my parents.
So they were asleep by 8 o'clock, and you're like, oh, I can't even make any noise in the house.
Yeah.
Wherever. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Did we have the conversation where I thought we were in one room as well?
You were in one room.
Well, I thought we were...
No.
So so very quickly,
Yeah.
I don't want to take up all our time talking about my personal life. My Auntie June died towards the end of last year, and a conversation that she and Mum had, I only just became aware of this, a conversation that she and Mum had before she died was, when I die, I've got some money that I want to give you, and as part of that, I want you and Matt and Pete, my dad, Mum's husband, 3 of us, to go on a holiday together. So that was
Great.
That was what this whole thing was.
Yeah.
Mum really can't travel, and that's become abundantly clear. So that's why she actually didn't go to Tasmania for my auntie's funeral, was because it was going to be too hard, and there was still no direct flights. There is now, but there was no direct flights from Adelaide to Hobart.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was, and it's wheelchairs to go through airports, and you know, it's hard. And for Mum, who's really kind of prideful, not proud, different words.
Yeah, I think they mean different things.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. So anyway, but we went on this family trip together, which was lovely. But yes, they're getting on, and they do go to bed really early, particularly if they have a couple of drinks, which Mum did. She got fucking merry.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Mine was the opposite. Like she alcohol for my mum is fuel. She's like, she's up all night. She's just, it's just hilarious.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, a couple of glasses of wine. She's like, wow, right, let's chat.
Yeah, well, Mum
Dad,
is
on
too,
the other hand,
until all
like,
of a sudden she just crashes.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like a small kid with a sugar rush. That's what my mum is like when she drinks. But it was great. But yeah. So just like the day before we left, I actually looked at the itinerary that Dad had sent me from the booking, because he'd sent it to me and said, this is where we're going to stay, and I hit the button and it came up with a document saying, you haven't got access to this. This isn't your account. But then the day before we went away, when I started to get the frighteners put on me about where we were actually staying and all that sort of stuff, I don't know. I hacked into the system. Yeah. One room. The fuck? Okay. But when we got there, it was a one-room apartment. So I was in the lounge room.
Yeah, cool.
But still, it was separate. But fuck me, they snore. So, and I'm a really light sleeper now. When I was a kid, I never was. I would have slept through a bomb going off, but now. And they're both deaf.
Oh, well, that's handy for them.
Really handy for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the mornings were, the night before was, we don't need to get up too early tomorrow, because, you know, we'll get up and we'll have some breakfast and then we'll go for a drive. So that's what it was. It was just, we drove to get to Albany, and then once we were there, it's like, well, tomorrow we'll go for a drive. Oh, fuck. Why are we here? Why are we staying in one of these places we're driving to? This seems redundant. Anyway, yeah, so we won't get up too early tomorrow. And then, 6:30 in the morning comes, and I hear Mum say, Peter, what time is it? This is from the other room. What time is it? It's 6:30, I yell from the other room. What? Who said that? Me, out here in the other room. It's 6:30. Go back to sleep. It's ridiculous.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's a lot of that.
I had the opposite experience last week. Well, I didn't go away with my parents.
Right.
I went away with a friend of mine. We went to Palm Cove.
Oh, yeah.
And
Palm Cove's beautiful.
and she just let me sleep.
God bless
She
her.
just like woke up in the morning. She went to the gym. She did all the whatever she did. Like had cups of tea, I guess. Ate breakfast, and I just slept.
Cups of tea.
Well, I don't know. I was asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Palm Cove's really lovely, because she told me you were going to Cairns. And Cairns is beautiful. Cairns is one of those places as well, though. I feel like once you get there, you got to drive somewhere else to see anything that's worth looking at.
I'm not quite sure why anyone would go to Cairns as a destination, other than I guess the weather's the same as it is in Palm Cove, and then you can walk around and see stuff and go to shops and whatnot.
I played a gig at Nunu.
Right, we stayed at Nunu.
Really?
At that whatever the apartments is.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely.
Beautiful.
Yeah, the weather was pretty crummy, but
Lame.
But that particular complex is really sheltered from the sea, so the weather was crummy, but
And it's right on the sea.
yeah,
Yeah. I'm painting a
yeah,
virtual word picture.
very
A word
effective.
picture.
But But it was really nice. We had a really nice time, really relaxing. And what was really fun, in addition to that, was...
you had sex?
No.
Oh.
No. I mean, that would have been fun if that had happened, but, you know, it didn't happen. So,
Okay. No.
Good try.
Oh, I didn't mean with each other.
Oh, no. Oh, I don't know. That's what she might have been doing when she was off
having
in the
cups
morning.
of tea.
Ah.
She's having big dicks.
I've never
She had big dicks for breakfast.
Oh, don't be like that. No.
You haven't said her name. You're blushing.
Am I?
Yes, you
Oh,
are.
well, you didn't have sex. I'm definitely blushing now. Talking about sex.
Let's talk about sex. Domza. Let's talk about you and her.
Good one.
Thanks, man.
Wow, you should be a musician.
Oh. Okay. Or a pimp.
Or a what?
Pimp.
You can be a pimp. Yeah, I've done much better in my life when I've had a pimp. When I've had someone who was the setter-upperer. Yeah.
I try.
Do you?
What, for you?
I mean, no, you just say, you know what you should do.
Yeah, that's true. And there was the one time that I was tired and I went home and then sent you a message and said, sorry, I should have been your wingman.
No, you shouldn't. That girl was way too drunk.
I don't remember that situation at all.
Yeah. Well, I kind of surveyed it and went, because I was, on that rare occasion I'd be at a gig and I'm pretty keen. And then after like 5 minutes, I was going to say 10 minutes, but actually 5 minutes was like, girl's too drunk.
Doesn't take much, does it?
They were there all night, if you remember.
No, I mean
Yeah.
to turn people like you and I from...
Oh,
to,
man. Well, it takes... All it
Sometimes
takes
it's
is
a conversation. One conversation. Three sentences.
Generally takes alcohol. But anyway, we went to Palm Cove at July. So we get to the airport and...
And you had sex.
No.
Oh, okay.
Amazing. You're not going to catch me off guard.
I'm not trying to.
Because the answer's going to be the same, even if I am caught off guard.
I'm just
But
offering an avenue.
we go
what
through
she
all the check-in and stuff and walking down to the gate, and I said, it's really weird. I haven't seen anyone I know here yet. Usually every time I go to the airport, it's like you bump into someone. It's like, what are the chances of someone you know and going somewhere else? We get down to the gate and there's Jamie McCallum, who I haven't seen since, I swear, high school.
What?
With his little family of like 3 kids and his wife, and they're going to Palm Cove.
Oh, for fuck. That's
They
brilliant.
literally stayed 500 metres from us. So it was really
Excellent.
nice to catch up with him. Lovely guy. Family's gorgeous, and you know we caught up and he had a beer. I had a beer. Had some beer. But it was last
for
time.
that.
Lovely, nice, relaxing time.
So you don't have to hear any more about it's been since I had my last.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought I said that in my head.
It's been 5 days since I had my last drink.
No, I didn't mean to say that out loud. Sorry.
Do I
Dad.
say it like that?
No.
Okay. Do you hear it like that?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I don't.
Fuck.
No, I don't. Come on, dude. It's all just jocularity for the purposes of humour.
Nice. Anything else?
I'll tell you one more trip story.
You had sex?
No,
It doesn't work when I try and do it.
not when I'm away with my parents. You
Well.
fucking weirdo.
You had separate rooms.
Yeah, and they are deaf.
There we go. Like, bringing someone back to the apartment, it's like, what's going on there? I was like, my parents, they're professional tuba players.
So, because I had to come back for a gig on Friday night, I thought I'd do the right thing and book with Qantas in the vain hope that they would be more efficient than one of the low-cost
It was a
carriers.
Jetstar flight anyway, wasn't it?
No.
No.
But so the flight I booked, I don't know, probably 6 or 8 weeks ago, got cancelled, and they said we're going to move you from that flight to one that goes an hour later. It's like,
No.
hour later's not going to work. Hour later gets me in at hour and a half later. Hour and a half later gets me in at 10 o'clock at night, and I've got to be at work at 10 o'clock, so that's not going to... All right, so we'll move you to this flight that's an hour earlier. Okay, no worries. So 2:30, that's plenty of time. Gets in at 8:30, everything's sweet.
Oh, yeah, time difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that was fine. I didn't cotton, and they didn't tell me that the new flight, QF10, is an international flight.
Oh.
So it's like an extension of the
Yeah.
flight that comes back from London.
Yeah.
London, Perth, Melbourne.
Yeah.
Okay.
So not straight off the plane and through.
No, so... And then I got a message that morning saying, your 2:30 flight is now 3 o'clock. Okay. And so anyway, we drive there. I take my parents to the airport, we wheelchair, organise them, get them checked in, all taken care of, no worries. All right, I'll see you later. I got to go to. So by this stage I've checked in. I've only got carry-on. I go towards the departure gate and I get to border control. Got your boarding pass? Yep. Little orange sticker on it. Oh, that's what the orange sticker means, an international flight. Okay, right. So then all the hand luggage is going through the little carousel bit where they do the security. You can't take these 2 bottles of wine on board. It's more than 100 mils. Yeah, I'm flying from Perth to Melbourne. Yeah, it's an international flight. So all the same rules still apply? Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. She said, so you'll have to leave them. So, they're $55 each. I'd really rather not. I mean, you'd probably really enjoy them. But actually, the first thing I said was, for fuck. And she said, okay. It's like, oh, I know you think I was swearing at you, but I wasn't swearing at you. I was just swearing at the situation. It's okay. Everything's fine. Everyone, put your guns away. It's all right, don't. If you could probably, you've still got 3 quarters an hour to your flight, you could probably go and check it in. So, but international bit, border control, trying to then go back from where that security point is to back where the border people are.
God.
And and then a line of people coming through, like just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Negotiated my way through all that sort of stuff. Go down, find the first Qantas person I can find, explain to her what's happened. She takes me straight over the counter. She's lovely. She said, you're actually quite lucky because there's no reason this flight isn't leaving at 2:30. I said, I got a message this morning saying it was leaving at 3. She said, yeah, someone's lost their job over that. That was a mistake.
What?
That went out by mistake. So...
What?
I know. But they still made us board. So I was back on board at 20 past 2 and then sat on the tarmac until we were allowed to leave at 3 o'clock.
God.
Yeah, it was fucking madness. But I was on the new Dreamliner 787. Like, they're fucking great.
Right, I don't know what that is.
Big brand new fuck off aeroplane.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big screens in the back of the seats, which I thought they were phasing out. I didn't think they were going to do screens in backs of seats anymore. But yeah. Lots of leg room, really comfy, and yeah.
Have they worked out a way to stop whoever decides they want to play the touchscreen games to stop giving you Chinese water, torch or whatever it is? Like,
do you know I thought that when I was watching the guy play Angry Birds?
Yeah.
In the seat next to me? Yeah.
Stop hitting the back of my seat.
And I was dealing with my cat having to go to the vet while I was away as well. So I sat down, there's a guy and his kid sitting next to him, and I said, mate, would you mind, if I was really quiet, would you mind if I just made a phone call while we're sitting here? He said, no, it's fine. So I'm down here doing this kind of thing, trying to make a phone call. And terrible reception in the plane anyway, so it was all a bit fucking redundant. Anyway, hung up from that. And something happened with the seat in front of me that was kind of bouncing backwards and forwards. And this guy kind of looked at me and then stuck his hand through the seat and said to this person, can you not do that? It's really annoying for the person behind you. Well, it took me an hour to clock that it was actually his other kid.
Oh,
I thought he was just being super helpful.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. I thought he was just randomly accosting a passenger and saying, it's really annoying for my brand new friend here. Can you...
Good parenting.
Yeah, no, they were great.
Speaking of which, my friend JB, his family... so we hadn't seen each other forever, and they just happened to have the row in front of us as well.
God's
So
sake.
we sat behind them.
Brilliant.
He had 3 little kids. I must be like 3, 4, 5, and 6. Not 4, 5, and 6, probably around that age group, but like really close together. Impeccably well behaved on the plane. Yeah, I mean, there seemed to be a lot of parental stress about can I get these kids on the plane. The kids were great.
Great.
I was like, yeah, good kids.
I thought the same thing about these parents, because it was actually him, his kid, his other kid, his wife, his other kid. Yeah. They were...
I hear... This is another one of those scenarios where, I don't have kids, so I don't know what it's like, but you hear parents talk about, like, I could never do an international flight with the kid, and it's like sometimes kids cry on a plane, but most of the time I've flown anywhere. Kids are like,
Yeah.
Whatever. This is annoying.
I was really surprised the first time I took Ali on a flight, like I took Ali and Harmony. Yeah. Sam and I took Ali and Harmony, and I thought Ali would be a nightmare. She couldn't give a shit.
Yeah, just give him a screen.
In fact, she was just there and reading a book. And she was window seat.
Yeah.
So, look, we're about to take off. And she went,
Yeah.
man. It's like, you've never been on a plane before. This is exciting. Yeah. What? Oh,
Whatever.
okay. Whatever. Which is, kind of like what she's like at my gigs as well.
Oh.
You couldn't give a fuck. So funny. In its own kind of not funny, I think I'm going to have another one kind of way. I'm just going to keep having kids until they're interested in what I do with my life.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I'm up to 7. Do you want to talk about these 2 chapters? We've just shot the breeze a lot before we even started, and now on camera. And, hi.
Oh, yeah. We're
Should
here
we?
to do something Pacific.
Yeah.
Well, you just did, didn't you? No. Yeah? Is it Pacific?
Indian.
Perth?
Indian.
Yeah, okay. I don't know which one's which.
That was pretty cool, because it was only a little while ago that I was standing on the edge of Phillip Island, and there's the actual ocean,
Yeah,
I'm
not
on
just sea.
I'm on the end of Australia,
Yeah.
and then just a few days ago I was
You're on the other side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty cool. I logged it in my brain as to look where I am.
Yeah. Do you know what
And then I
love?
took some pictures of wind farms. So after having been disparaging about number 6 of 91 things to do in Albany, I fucking love wind farms.
They're amazing.
They're enormous and awesome. Oh, they make such a good noise.
People who live near them don't like them,
No, but they're wrong.
which makes me laugh.
Yeah. But, it's a bit like that ex-girlfriend of mine sending me another message, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, that fun.
Wow. Out of control.
I'm finding these middle chapters hard work.
Really?
Intellectually, I'm really struggling with them because I think they're ginormous concepts. So I'm reading them, just going, oh, I need to stop.
What?
Yeah, a lot to unpack for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I think you should do a lot of the talking then.
No, I'm blah, blah. Yeah.
Rule number 7.
Pursue what is meaningful, not expedient.
Oh, shit, really?
Far out, yeah. Yeah, lots of
What?
stuff, yeah. Hard.
So it opens
So much Bibles.
A lot of Bible.
A lot of Bible.
A lot of Bible. But interestingly,
Oh, yeah.
opens with the the idea of that life is suffering, which we've spoken about before, which he's spoken about before, being the first of the 4. But look, that's what that says.
Really?
Yeah.
I like the fact that you had to go through pain to get it.
Didn't hurt that much.
Well, just a little
It was a
bit.
bamboo one. Did you know that? It
No.
wasn't a... Yeah.
Ah.
It was just a dude. Hold your arm up. It's just a dude who kind of held one hand here and guided it and then dipped this long, sharp bamboo thing and from this distance went like this.
Wow.
Yeah. Fucking crazy. And look at it.
Amazing.
Unbelievable.
Can't even read it, though.
No, well, it's... yes.
Someone asked me recently about tattoos and whether I would ever get one. And it took me a very long time in my life to understand why I don't have one. And it's because I've had so much experience with physical pain and going to hospital and having surgery. Like any kind of voluntary...
Yeah.
It's almost like that with exercise. Like, as well. It's like any kind of thing where I have to volunteer to go through something.
Yeah, I get
that's,
you.
Something that's painful, and it's like what. I'm interested in reading this book and exploring some of the ideas, and it just really goes back. It's like, wow, this issue that I have goes back to being a baby, and I think these 2 chapters in particular really highlight that for me about some of the blocks that I've got. It's quite. I find it interesting. I'm not too concerned about it.
No, I am, now that you've mentioned it.
Yeah. Okay.
And every time you make that noise, I'm going to be more concerned.
I sound like Sprocket, don't I?
No.
Throw a ball. Just throw a ball for me, man. I'll be fine.
Huh.
Yes. Yeah, it's got some stuff in it, this one. I've literally actually highlight this stuff. 'Cause I thought, oh, that's good. I like that. There's something for me to go back and look at. So it basically talks about the evolution of the idea of sacrifice, the idea of giving up the opportunity to have something now in order to have something better later.
Yeah, one cookie now, or 3 cookies in an hour.
Yeah. Yes, which I would have failed dismally. I would have been one of those kids. Which is
You would?
Yeah. Which is interesting because it's like those, you know, that. Well, so anyone who doesn't know, there's an experiment that I don't know who did, probably some smart people at Harvard or something like that, with toddlers, and they explained that you could have the cookie now, but then you don't get any later. But if you can not have it now and wait 15 minutes and you get more later. And they did this analysis and looked back at the kids over the years, and it turned out any of the little children who could resist at that point ended up being more successful in every possible measure, like in later life, than the ones that went, oh fuck, I'm just gonna have it now. I would have never been able to. Yeah.
That really surprises me about you. But I know you now.
Yeah, but I think if we do an analysis of my adult life up until this point, I bear all the hallmarks of someone who just is impulsive and don't look at me like that. It's just that you love me that you're confused by me saying that.
What face was I giving? I was giving a face.
Yeah. That can't be right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I was fearful that maybe I'd put the wrong face on my face. I was saying, you're a lying fuck.
Well, that's the next chapter.
This is the thing.
Yeah.
So this chapter is all about the concept, really. Oh, no, okay. Anyway, the concept of delayed gratification.
Yeah.
And the next chapter is, you've said before that I'm good at the précis. Don't lie.
Yeah.
They seem really kind of simple concepts to me. I'm fascinated that you've found them
you see, I find
difficult.
I find them the opposite of simple, because they're simple. They're simple concepts because they're easily condensed into a sentence. But they're, for me, they're tip of iceberg kind of thing. They're like,
Really?
oh, that's the thing on it. But like they're.
I wank on the way here. Does that mean I fail?
I don't know.
Delayed gratification. I was going to have 3 later, but I decided to have 1 on the way. I'm joking.
I was just, my mind just went, oh, there's lots of possibilities there.
Sorry,
Anyway,
I've basined this whole...
Oh no, it was one of us was going to do it.
Good.
I mean, it started off earlier about whether I was having sex or not on my holiday.
No, shit, that was me too.
I didn't.
Sorry.
Played ping pong though. How's this? This is unrelated to what we're talking about now.
Okay.
So I'm playing. So this place we stayed at has a little games room and there's a table tennis table. So we go in and we have play. Now, I like to play table tennis. Not very good at it, but it's fun. I'm not competitive. Like I don't, in the sense of I like to play games and I like to I like to engage in that and try and get better. But I don't care. I've never cared about winning. I just want the thing to go the way it's supposed to go.
Do you keep score?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't have to. I personally don't have to keep score, but I think it makes sense in order to continue to play the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like otherwise, you're like, yeah.
I agree.
Otherwise, we just did it.
This is fun. Let's go to bed.
So we play this game. Good one.
Oh, well done.
Play this game, and I'm trying my hardest, and she's fucking smacking me all around the table, killing me.
Really?
Right. And then, and beats me. Right. And then we're playing. I'm like, wow, she's really good at this.
She'd tell me she was going to come down here and play table tennis with you.
Yeah.
Because evidently you had lamented the fact that no one would come down here and play table tennis with you. She said, I told him I'd go and play with him.
Oh, is this while I'm up the other week
Yeah.
where we were out and I'm
Yeah.
off getting drinks and
Yeah.
then like you guys were like, oh no, he's pretty needy.
No.
All right, cool.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, that's all right. It would be true. Anyway, I hit this shot and it's a killer shot, like, backhand across the table. And I see the paddle goes from this hand to this hand, and she hits it back and wins the point. And I was a bit like gobsmacked. And she goes, "Did you see that?" I went, "Yes." She's like, "She's not left-handed. The first game she played, totally left-handed, right? And it's only when she throws the paddle to the other hand and hits it right-hand who wins a point that I finally cotton on that she's done the whole Princess Bride. I'm not left-handed either to me. So then she continues to play ambidextrously for the rest of the holiday.
Fuck her.
Hilarious. Occasionally I won. Like, occasionally. But then it got to the point where, like, not that I'm competitive, but, like, now I'm just fascinated because, like, she's not even playing with me with her correct hand. Brilliant. Apparently, she was explaining when she was a teenager, she was doing something at school and, like, maybe swinging between the tables, like, in class, and then something happened and her left arm just gave away.
Ow.
Her right arm just gave away. And then, so in the 3 months it took to rehabilitate this arm, she had to do everything with her other hand. So from then on, she was just like, I can just do stuff. Unreal.
That's great. Brainy's very plastic.
Yeah. Unreal. I was it was the highlight of my holiday. Just kept going. Sorry, shall I give it to you in that hand? It was good.
All right. Sorry, hello.
Delay of gratification.
Yes.
There is little difference between sacrifice and work.
Yes.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, I guess it's spending... Well, I heard some kids the other day when I was at the post office talking about their jobs, their holiday jobs, and one of them was like, "So what do they pay you an hour?" And the other was like, I get $8 an hour. I was like, I get $9. It's like, whoa, God, that's not a lot of money. Yet it probably is for some people. I guess for people that don't have any. Like, it's
Well, how old are these kids?
Like teenagers.
Right.
$9 an hour.
It's not much, is it?
No, but I guess what that means is, like, you give up an hour of your time, and which you'll never get back, by the way, and they'll give you $8 or $9 for it. But with that $8 or $9,
That's my argument about going to the gym.
Did you never get the time back?
No, that I'm only extending my life by the amount of time I'm spending in the gym. Fuck that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Anything about that for a concept? If I run for an hour,
I do.
all I'm going to do is just get an extra hour on the end of my life. What's the fucking point?
What's the theme? Do what is something not expedient?
Ah, shit. Oh, no. What have I done? Did you say do what is something, not what is expedient?
I can't remember it.
Meaningful.
Oh, look, don't let your children do anything that makes you dislike them.
Like work for $8 an hour.
Fucking hell. How's that?
So what does he say? Sacrifice is about doing good now for future reward.
Yep. Behaving properly now, in the present, regulating our impulses, considering the plight of others, you could bring rewards in the future in a time and place that did not exist yet. Fuck. I'm just not, like, I don't know what it is about me. I'm just not like that at all.
What?
Yeah. Like, yesterday, all day I can be really, really good and avoid, eating anything bad, and then I finish my gig and I walk across the road from where I park my car and I buy 2 bags of popcorn and I eat them all on the way home. And then went, oh, fuck it, I'm already 2 bags of popcorn in, and I pull over to the service station and buy a bag of chocolate and eat that too. Like, I just...
Well, we've spoken about that before in relation to me, that if I don't, and I don't count beer, but if I have a good eating day, I reward myself with something bad at the end of it.
This is something in my...
Calories just a calorie in my head.
But this is something in me that just... I don't know, it's... I know it's animalistic. It just goes... switches off and I've just got no control.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he talks about that too, that goes back to our evolutionary history. That our brains are still animalistically wired to not understand that the thing that's in front of us now might not be there later, or potentially even in more plentiful supply.
Yep.
So we fucking cram it in now. Or we do whatever it is now, because that opportunity might not be there later. Because we live in a world full of predators.
Yeah, and also, I mean, that does. It's sort of, for me, that explains a huge part of our obesity issue, is that we don't have winter anymore. We don't have food winter. Whereas not that long ago, and really not that long ago, you had strawberries for a week a year.
Yeah, that's right.
And so you went rah, 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 strawberries, but now we have strawberries in all kinds of ways. Strawberry just being a metaphor for the chocolate and popcorn that I ate last night. But the thing is, so once upon a time you could crave that all you wanted to. It didn't matter, you weren't going to get it.
Sure.
But now you can get it at 11 o'clock at night at whatever service station you want to, and because you know it consciously, your body just your brain just takes your body to wherever it can go and get it. So I find
I'd be surprised if anyone listening to this was unfamiliar with the concept of delayed gratification. Like, it's pretty,
absolutely, yeah.
pretty accessible and reasonably widely spoken about, and it doesn't seem like that much of an ephemeral kind of concept. Which is why, again, I find it so fascinating that you grappled with it so...
Well, I grapple with it intellectually because I grapple with it so much physically. And there's no doubt in my mind as well that... I mean, maybe there's a doubt in my mind. I feel like I can explain a lot of my physical tendency to behave animalistically, like when I say to crave the food, to binge eat, to binge drink, people say, I've got an addictive personality, but it's not your personality, it's how your body and your brain worked out. I don't think it's a personality thing, because the way I kind of look at it is I think about who my parents are and how they behave and how therefore they behaved before I was born, and then I think about where their parents came from, and then you can kind of look at your family history. I can look at my family history and understand where my kind of, I would say, addictive tendencies and physical drive to buy 3 books at a time, it's something about that. And so when I read something like this, and it talks about the ideas of how the concept of delayed gratification pervades a society in order to make the society work. I think about how I behave, and I think about my family history, and I go, yeah, wow, that makes sense why it's troublesome to be a human in this kind of society, because society works, 100% works on the idea. It functions on the idea of delayed gratification, the idea of I'm going to go and I'm going to help build the road or drive the train, and at the end of that, I get to go and do what I want to do or have the things I want to have. Particularly.
I'll give an hour of my time and I'll get $8 in return. Yeah,
but I also think there's something about Western society that's different to other cultures. But I think Western society has kind of gone on beyond, but gone the whole way. It's kind of like that idea of you kind of had to have slavery for us to work out that slavery is bad, but yet what we have is a version of slavery, but voluntarily in a way, of the kind of we need, in order to have the life, the society that we have, the complex thing that we have to have a kind of agreed upon way to get jobs done. And so you have to volunteer to delay gratification in order to fit in with society. If you don't want to do that, then you get those dull bludgers and people that are shunned by society. They're not. That's why when I say this is a really troublesome intellectual concept for me, because it just got the tendrils of it just fire off in all directions, and I go, wow, that's really interesting. That's this, that's that, that's this, that's that. For me, it's not. I don't find it simple. I find it whoa, fuck. This explains why I have trouble with it, and I have trouble with it intellectually because I know I have trouble with it physically.
Yeah, right.
And both, yeah.
I understand what you're saying.
And then what's interesting is
You poor little bastard.
I read the chapter like, what shan't I highlight? Like it's like it's like just a whole chapter of, yeah, man, fuck, we should talk about that. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow, I'd struggle with that. Like, yeah.
Huh. Well, go on then. Because I didn't need all the Bible stories. He actually, despite the way that he kind of started out and like the whole preface of the Bible stories and how they tie into the way our society functions, blah, 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 I can take or leave them.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I think they're important in the concept of how he writes because we live in a Christian, a biblical society. Like the Western world is, we act out Christian values and rules by how the whole thing's structured. So it's kind of like...
Christian? Exclusively? Surely the concepts of just do right by other people are pretty universal.
Well,
I've just chosen one.
Not necessarily, but I think what we have, the evolution of our society has come through having so we have Christ, and that's our, even in this, it's like he's like the model of sacrifice in order to, like, he's kind of going like, oh, I give up my life so that mankind can continue to move forward, you know. So he's like, even like the manifestation of God on earth teaches us to make a sacrifice in order to have something better later. So even that as an idea, is how we work. Like it's how our society works. And then, but I guess what I'm saying is the biblical stuff I think is important because, you know, you get through the Middle Ages, right, and then you get to the Enlightenment, and then you sort of kind of separate church from state, and so much of what we have now is based on the Bible. Like I said, like we don't get to where we are now without all the things that have happened.
Sure.
So in our Western world, because it's religion has just been so fundamental in how we've processed things. It's like the lens and the frame that we've looked through for such a long time. That we're not necessarily now, we're more of a secular society now, but we've kind of moved, we got to the point now by coming through that religious, Christian value system.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's kind of like going, this is where we've come from and this is how we got to where we are, and without the Bible and the stories in it, we don't get to where we are because people needed that as their guide, their frame of reference.
Yeah, okay.
And I think it's kind of...
the Bible stories he cited in this chapter are bleak as fuck.
Yeah.
Well, Cain and Abel, and like after the expulsion, and after the expulsion of Adam and Eve from the Garden of Eden and all that sort of stuff, and then through the story of Abraham and Exodus and all that sort of stuff. Like they're big stories.
Yeah, but they're. I guess too when you look at them and you kind of go, the lessons that they teach are fundamental. They're not, particularly, it's hard for us, in this time with our technology and our understanding, our ability to, take an antibiotic and not die from something that, even 100 years ago would kill you. It's like, so we kind of like, even in a very short period of time, oh, that's right.
Go on.
There was something I highlighted, which I thought was really important. Maybe it was in the next chapter. It is in the next chapter, but it's pertinent to this part of the conversation. As the Christian Revolution progressed, however, the impossible problems it solved disappeared from view. That's what happens to problems that are solved. And after the solution was implemented, even the fact that such problems had ever existed disappeared from view. So, like, what we have now is like we get sick. We've got all these ways of dealing with the sickness that our grandparents, our great-grandparents died of. So before that, there's like the great problem of, tuberculosis was, and even certain parts of the world now, still an issue. We just don't even we don't even think about that anymore.
No.
So it's not, those things are not a problem. So if you kind of go back to what kind of problems did people experience in the times when the Bible was, over the centuries that the Bible was written, you kind of go, yeah, those were real, like, big everyday problems that had to be explained by something. Because you need to find a story to explain it, even if it's not what it actually was.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but humans have got to process stuff, which is another reason why these chapters for me like are intellectually difficult, because they answer questions, but they also, as lots of good questions do, they just lead to more questions. Like, so, you know, oh, there's an answer for that. Great. Oh, fuck that. What about that? What about that? What about that? So, yeah, there we go. I know.
So he talks about saving as an example of delayed gratification.
See, I don't do that. Never have.
Really?
Yeah. No such thing ever in my life.
What?
Ever.
Really?
Yep.
Why is that?
I would. I don't know.
Like, my father has always been very sensible and pragmatic about money and stuff. So, I mean, although I didn't actually save anything until I first went overseas and worked, but I didn't have any other option. I wasn't working enough or hard enough or often enough to be in a position to save anything. I was doing what so many of us do, which is just living a hand-to-mouth existence and keeping my car running and buying guitars. Yeah, right. But okay. I mean, my savings plan is just trying not to spend as much as I earn. So that's fairly simple.
It's better than mine. I spend more than I earn.
Do you though?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah, huge issue.
Is that because you're a homeowner?
No.
Surely that, no, okay.
No. I've always been like
The
that.
majority of your earnings now surely go on a mortgage, don't they?
No.
No.
No, they go to pay back debt that I've accrued by buying dumb shit that I don't need.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, right. Like what? Like all this stuff?
Yeah, all this stuff.
All this stuff?
All this stuff, yeah.
You do need it.
How many mixing desks do you think I need?
Well, you probably...
How many do you think I need?
You likely only actually need one, because
Yes.
you can transfer it from gig to here and...
That's correct.
Yeah, that's my foot.
I know, but...
Was I pulling on your doodad?
Yeah.
Sorry, dude.
That's correct, but...
Dad.
So how many do you think I have?
4?
I have 5.
Do you?
Yeah. That came in really handy yesterday when I had 2 gigs really close together.
Yeah.
I wanted to drop some stuff off.
Yeah.
But that was 2 gigs, so I needed 2 yesterday.
You would have had one in your car and one here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. But that one does that. But how many guitars do you think I have? How many can I play at once?
Oh, that's different.
No,
Yeah, it is. Guitars is different.
The answer to how many guitars do you need is like, well, how many guitars do you have? The answer is always saying not enough. That's the answer. But like, I'm just saying, like, I've got issues. I got issues.
Dude. Really?
Yeah. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with having issues.
No,
Everyone's got 'em.
that's about... Well, no. I mean, in the sense that...
Yeah.
Is there a middle ground between how you see your issues and how I don't see that I have any? Like, I don't see anything wrong with the way you live your life, and that's fine because you see it from where you are. But I don't know, buying more mixing desks than you need doesn't seem like an issue. It just seems like, well, that's a bit silly. And you could probably sell a couple of them. I mean, the new one you bought, the new PreSonus one's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Lots of sends.
And
that's really helpful. I wish I had a desk with more sends on it.
Right. So this is why this episode is probably already finished or already gone for long enough. It's because this is about this conversation. Is what you just said is true. What's the problem with buying an extra cool thing? There isn't a problem with that, right? But what happens is when that way of behaving, because that's not about mixing desks, it's not about guitars, it's about everything in your life, which is centered around that behaviour. That
Is it?
But that's the thing of, yes, it is.
Okay.
So that kind of behaviour is something that I do in all aspects of my life, right? Now, so it's the compounding of what happens when you do that with everything. It's like when I'm when it's like what I say to you. The reason I don't drink at gigs is because then I want to have 5 beers when I get home. Now I can go on holiday, right, and have a few drinks, right, because I'm relaxed. But when I'm in a different environment, like I don't feel like I have that ability to delay gratification. Like so, like I just have to have that new funky cool mixing desk. It's like, well, aren't you already paying back debt on a whole bunch of other cool funky stuff that you've got that you don't really use very often? Yeah. Like
I didn't know you were paying off debt for that sort of stuff.
Yeah, of course. That's the interesting thing about when I say something that I bring something up in these kind of conversations and I go, this has highlighted an issue for me. And you go, how's that? You pull the face and like, how's that an issue for you? It's like, because you know what you know about my life, which is a fair bit because you're my best mate. But you don't know all things about my life. And then so when I say, I've got having a bit of a problem with that, you look at me and go, that's ridiculous. How could you have a problem with that?
Not ridiculous.
No, but the face says.
I don't want the face to say ridiculous.
But I don't feel persecuted by the face.
I don't, because ridiculous feels like a really dismissive word,
Yeah.
and that's not my intention.
And I don't
that's
feel
not what my face is either.
ridiculous about it either. Like I'm not. When I point out that
My face is not ridiculous.
when I point out that it makes me aware of that's something that I do, and it's not necessarily good. It's also not necessarily. It's not disastrous, and it's not something you go, wow, that makes me a terrible idiot. I don't know, it's 12 rules for life, and I know he uses pretty strong language. But I also recognise, well, that's something that I can work on, and I think that's the takeaway from this book is basically, look, man, you're not perfect, and there's stuff that you can work on, and you can probably always make every aspect of your life incrementally better, And so be aware of this, and be aware of this, and be aware of this, and, to do that little bit to not buy another mixing desk again until, they all get stolen or, or whatever it is. And this is why these kind of things, when I read these middle chapters, I find them really confrontational and profound because I go, yeah, I do that. And that often makes me ask more questions because of the answers I get. It's like when I did the personality testing and I was like, wow, that brought up some stuff. And I showed you and you went, that's not you. And I went, I can see how you can think that's not me. But I can also see how that is. And also, when you care for someone and you read something and go, that's not necessarily good. And you go, well, I love this guy and he's not like that to me. And that's true because when I interact with you, I behave differently than when I behave in other aspects of my life.
That night after that conversation, I dreamt that you and I had a fight.
I dream that you and I have fights all the time.
Get fucked.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I never have.
Yeah.
And I was really troubled by it.
Oh, don't be.
And I was all out of sorts the next day, and I was a bit fucking weird with you.
I think. Do you know what my mum does with my dad?
You've told me this before. Well, I kind of did.
I'm not talking to you. Why? Because you did this. When? In my dream? What?
Yeah, I was weirded out by it.
I feel like we don't have
because it
fights
was fundamental
in real life because.
What?
Yeah.
What the fuck do we fight about in your dreams?
I don't know. I was asleep.
I
don't remember a lot. I wake up and go, what was that? Like, what was the detail? I don't know the detail of that, but I wake up. I usually, when I have something negative, like I wake up from a negative thing, I make sure I go back to sleep so I can fix it.
Yeah, right.
I fight with everyone in my dreams, by the way.
Do you?
Yeah, when I say fight, like it's not very rarely violent, but I have.
Do you have punch-ons in your dreams?
No, I don't think so. I dream.
There's nothing more exciting, by the way, than other people listening in to someone talking about their own dreams. It's so entertaining for other people. It's fucking not.
Is it not?
No.
Sorry.
So I had this dream.
I didn't realise that we were trying to entertain people.
Where I
with
was
this.
a cat and I was chasing a bird, and it's like, oh, really? That's so exciting. No, I haven't finished. And then It's like, it's not interesting to anyone except the person who had a dream about being a cat chasing a bird.
I reckon 5 mornings out of 7, I would wake up when Liz and I lived together, and I would wake up to, I just had this dream. She would wake me up and tell me about this dream. And I'd do this, be lying in bed going,
See? Yeah.
That was good that she got to resolve it by talking to someone about it in the morning. Okay, I'll go to sleep now. Okay.
I tend only to tell people about my dreams when I think they are actually entertaining. I haven't actually ever had a dream about being a cat chasing a bird.
All right.
And all that might entail.
You're right. Would you ever a bird chasing a cat? Anyway, this yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Big time clever stuff.
I feel like about 10 minutes ago you put a full stop at the end of this chapter.
I don't know how long this has been going for, but I reckon this is about an hour already.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I feel like you've still got more to say, though. We were going to try and condense 2 chapters into 1 episode, and now I feel like we need to expand one chapter into 2 episodes.
Oh, well, why don't we try and... all right, let's summarise this chapter.
Okay.
If you are disciplined and privilege the future over the present, you can change the structure of reality in your favour. Quote. End of chapter. You got more to say about this chapter?
Yeah, well, just these rules are all about trying to have a better life. And you said incrementally improve the way you live.
Yeah. You commented on how relatively tidy my house was.
I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys can't see the rest of this room.
No, it's...
This room's a mayhem.
So, a fundamental way to be able to do that is to attempt to increase your willingness to sacrifice for what you want. So if you have a goal in mind, you have to try to learn how to delay your gratification in order to achieve that goal. Yes, that's a simpler concept than it is possibly to actually put into practice.
Yeah, some people do
but
that.
not impossible.
Yeah. Well, I would say the most successful people, when I say successful, like the most well-rounded, successful people I know are the best at doing that. Not necessarily the most intelligent and brilliant and fun, witty. Not the people that I would kind of necessarily associate with. I want to be like that, or like, or that other people would think. But the people who tend to have their life together more tend to be very good at delaying gratification.
It's only been an hour, by the way.
Good.
I just happened to glance at the time on my phone.
Should we do it? Well, you can finish real quick if you want to do...
No.
Okay.
No, because you have trouble with this too. I don't want to...
That's all right.
No.
All right.
It's not all right. Let's do it later.
All right.
Let's do another episode.
All right, cool.
Not now.
All right.
Honestly, the fact that you have grappled with that has now made me call into question everything about my life. I'm not even kidding.
Why's that?
In years gone by, when I, years and years gone by, when I really struggled with my place in the world, and my best mate, Brian, helped me through a particularly rough patch. He kind of explained to me, and this is long before he'd done any of his psych study or anything like that. He's now... He and you are now my go-tos. If I'm grappling with something in my life, you guys are the ones that I will run the concept by and my argument with it. If it's big and I need to make some decisions, like you guys are the people I go to. But Brian has always had a really good head on his shoulders, and so he was the guy back in the day that I would take my big problems to. And when I was really struggling about my place in the world, I don't have the capacity that you have, I don't think, for that self-analysis and really being able to quantify where you sit in the scheme of things. Like, I think you have a pretty clear idea about the things you need to work on in order to make you feel better about where you are in your environment. I don't think I do that. I don't think I have that capacity anywhere near to the level that you do, and that Brian does. But Brian was the guy years ago who said, part of your problem, Matt, is that you're a deep thinker. I don't think of myself as being a deep thinker, and I've had people my whole life say that to me, but I don't feel that. I feel like I live such a superficial. I mean superficial in simple terms, like a simple life. And I know like all of us, I grapple with bits of how I fit into the world. But so I feel like you read something like that and think, wow, these are big concepts and there's all these other things that it means. And I read it and think, delayed gratification. All right, so fucking don't do that thing now. Do it later.
Yep.
Whatever. So I just feel like maybe there's a middle ground that I'm missing. And maybe you're missing too. I think you're way too hard on yourself, and perhaps I'm not hard enough on myself. Maybe that's all I needed to say. Thanks, Brian.
One of the things that's probably what you just said highlights to me, as well as how I know you, is that you do seem to have an ability to function very comfortably on a surface level, right, as you just described, right? But it's almost like you're a submarine. You can go on the surface for a really long time, but one of the things I find that from talking to you...
My nickname is Kursk.
Good.
Thanks.
Yeah,
deep cut.
But what I notice, I think, is that...
They all died, by the way, so...
You tend to... If you've been on the surface for too long, I think you struggle and you'd have to do some deep diving. And I think some of the...
So I'm more like a whale.
No. No, because... anyway, my point being...
Sorry.
That's all right. No, I think it's important that you tend to spend more time in one space and then spend a lot of time in another space. And if you're a whale, right, then I'm I don't know.
Dolphin.
An otter. Otter? Yeah, I'm up and down all the time. Up and down all the time. And when I say that, up and down all the time, that, I've expressed this to you before, one of the things that meditation and drinking less and trying to be conscious of what I eat does, it doesn't stop the fact that I'm that personality that just goes up and down a lot. But what it does is it condenses the amplitude of how high I get and how low I get. What I see with you, and you...
Is that a pun?
No. I don't know, not SEO. What I see with you is that you spend a lot of time on the surface and then you really deep dive. And I'm not saying that you're like... I'm not trying to say that you're high and, in a good mood, and then you get depressed.
No,
depressed. But I do think that when Brian says you're a deep thinker, it's like, I think that's very, very true. I think you think very deeply when you get deep, right? And when you're on the surface, you're on the surface. Whereas I tend to go, da, 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 da. So something like this, what we're reading here, affects me, and I go, oh. But then I'm back up again.
Yeah, okay.
And does that make sense?
It does.
Because you also kind of express, occasionally you'll express the same thing that when you talk about, I was feeling good and I was feeling anxious. It's like either, profound effects of changes in mood and temperament. Whereas I don't find them, for me, I don't feel like I'm profoundly affected. I'm just up and down all the time.
The fight we had in my dream, it was very much about this book as well. And the fact that in my dream I decided you and I actually didn't have anything in common at all and we shouldn't be friends.
Yeah, right.
Which was a shitty way to wake up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I think doing this podcast has highlighted a lot, like through over the last 11 months or whatever we've been doing it. And I've said this to lots of people when they've asked me, how's the podcast going? I said, I love it because what it highlights to me is I have a best friend who is a lot more, is different in ways that I didn't know before because we never had these kind of conversations. And we would usually get together, we'd have a really good time, we'd do our gig, we'd have a bit of fun, and, we're best mates. And then one thing that I find that we do have common is we do like to kind of nut out an idea or talk about something. And we often don't share the same perspective. If anything, we're perhaps on the same freeway but in a different lane. So we're kind of travelling towards the same place, but we have a slightly different kind of idea on something. And I really like that about this because it makes me think that that's great. Because you don't actually have to have anything in common with the people that you get along with. No. Like, apart from the things that you go, the things we have in common is that it's okay for us to see things differently. And a lot of people don't think it's okay to see something
clearly
slightly
on
different.
some subconscious level, I don't think it's okay either. I think that's what my dream was trying to highlight.
But I think, that's a highlight.
I wanted to fight with you the next day.
Well, that's good.
For being difficult to get along with.
Yeah. I am difficult to get along with.
Well, there we go. Let's resolve that as long as we both agree.
Yeah, I'm difficult.
You're a good man.
Yes. I don't know that many people that have these kind of conversations.
Well, who's got the time?
Well, true. Yeah, they're hard work. Voluntarily. Because, this is... I don't know how much couples therapy you've ever had, but this is a lot what it's like, except usually it's someone wanting to kind of go, nah, that's your fault. But we're not.
I've never had any couples therapy.
No. Oh, I have. Worked out well.
Fuck them. Not your partner, the therapist.
Yeah. Oh, I should tell you about that story. I've never fucked my therapist.
No, but she wanted to, didn't she?
No, I don't know if she wanted to. I just noticed. I noticed that whenever. So I'll tell you guys. It's funny. So, I noticed that on the days that. So I used to have couples therapy, and I used to see the same therapist as well, from just myself, but we would do it bi-weekly. So I would go every week but 1 week I would go by myself, and the second week it would be a couples thing. And it was always really interesting to me that on the week I was by myself, this therapist dressed quite provocatively, and on the week where it was couples, she was very conservative.
That's fucking crazy.
It was hilarious.
Can you say her name?
No. And she was young.
People who want to go to her.
She was young as well at the time, so she wasn't fully qualified. I don't think she was in like her last year. But she was very good. Like
Doesn't even sound like she was fully dressed.
But that was funny.
Wowzers.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good.
And occasionally,
did your partner know this?
Well, yes, because occasionally I pointed it out, and then occasionally she would meet me after my solo thing, and she was like, yeah, she dresses different. Yeah. Oh, it was funny. Anyway, let's finish up.
All right, then.
All right.
Thanks for hanging out. We had other plans for today, but I think they've been thwarted by a later start and a long conversation, yeah. But let's mention the live podcast and Crowded House show.
Yep. We're going to do one on Tuesday, May 22.
Yep.
Oh, I knew the date.
Yeah.
And the day.
7:30.
Yep.
Yep.
There are still some tickets at Long Play in Fitzroy.
Very good.
There are 30 tickets. I think there are 21 left.
That many?
Yeah.
Fuck, that's rude.
Well, we haven't pushed it too hard just yet.
Oh, we haven't pushed it hard at all.
But that'd be fun. So what we'll do, we haven't nailed down exactly what we're going to do, but it'll be like this. First
You can nail it now.
Will be...
whatever you say now, we'll stick to.
It'll be a live podcast recording, so what we'll do is we'll set up like this, but I think probably the conversations will base around audience questions.
Absolutely.
We might even have a roving microphone.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need a moderator, though, because can't be trusted.
Okay, well, maybe we should... I think we should ask Geordie to come. I think it would be hilarious.
As a moderator?
Yes.
Fuck no. No way.
No? All right then.
He couldn't be trusted. He'd want to editorialise on everything.
Well, that's why I think it'd be fun.
No, we need someone that's got no opinions. No offence to whoever is the person we now ask.
That'd be interesting. Anyway, so we'll do that, and then we'll have a little bit of a break, and people can go out to the bathroom and get a drink, and then we'll do...
So a bit like
house
doing the wedding speeches and then having a break before we come back and do the bridal dance and
Should
do
we
the
cut
first
the cake?
set.
Maybe we'll have a cake we can cut.
I actually haven't physically myself seen the space yet, but Dom found it, and it in the pictures and from his description, it sounds fucking magical.
It's about the size of this room. And
They can't see how big the room is.
Well, I'm just telling you.
Thanks, man.
About the size of this room with a couple of rows of old cinema seats and then like a little performance
Because
space
it's a repurposed cinema, isn't it?
Oh, no,
Not
no.
even repurposed,
No,
is
no.
it?
It's a,
No, it's a cinema.
it's a room that's just been converted into a mini cinema.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a cinema.
No. It's an old house. It's now a bar, restaurant thing with a cinema room.
I love it, man. It's perfect for what we're doing.
You haven't seen it.
I haven't
It's
seen
perfect
it.
what we're doing. It's going to be fun.
No. Well, I mean, I've seen the pictures, but this even that I didn't realise.
Yeah.
I
It's not
thought it
a
was a chicken before the egg, but it's the cart before the horse.
It's the iceberg before the sinking.
Oh, great. Now I have to go and do some work.
You know what? If it wasn't for the iceberg, we wouldn't have had that great movie.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen Titanic?
No.
I've never seen it all the way through. I projected the fucking thing for 7 or 8 months. That's how long it ran for. Jack!
Was that his name?
Yeah.
Didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Okay. I just know that apparently there was room for him as well.
On the
Yeah.
door.
Oh, was it a door, was it?
Yeah, it must have been a door.
Okay.
Doors float, don't they?
Yeah. Unless it was a jar. Goodbye.
Oh, nice.
Oh, come
See you
on.
later, dude. Bye.
Bye.